Welcome, welcome, welcome. As we go through the meeting tonight, we're going to do a tip of the week. So every single week we get together, we talk about a different tip. You guys can check out all of our prior tips on our YouTube channel or on our podcast. Just search for Texas REIAs, REIAS. And of course, those of you guys who are online, you're welcome to join us at our live meeting at any time you would like as well. So we'll do the tip of the week, we'll do a market update, and then we're going to share some different training strategies, some of the strategies that we've been using to buy and sell property over the last almost 2 decades that have really worked well for us. So as we get started with the tip of the week, this is some of the different things that we've learned over the years that have helped us build our business, both help us build income as well as help us build wealth. And we love sharing some of this tribal knowledge with you, partially because it's kind of fun for me to be able to think of what tip am I going to give these folks that are here with us tonight as part of the Real Estate Investor Association. And I've got on the screen several of the prior tips that I have given out. And as part of that as well, you can see the tip that we're doing today, which is the Abominable NoMan, right? So we're almost in December. So when you think of something that's abominable, you think of a snowman. So I guess that's why I'm bringing that up now as we're headed into winter, but winter and summer could melt a snowman in about 2.5 seconds. That's why in Texas, all of our snowmen are dirty and short. That's funny. I'll give you another chance at that one to laugh. Okay. All right. I'll work on that. So these are some of the prior tips that we have given out, and I always try to make them both fun and educational, and also try to pull things from different environments as well that we can use as real estate investors. And today's topic is something that I'm calling the Abominable NoMan. And I'll ask you guys the question. So what do you think is the problem with most billionaires? What do you think the problem is with most billionaires? Joe's like, they have problems? How to spend their money? Say it again. Someone said where to invest their money. What else? What's the problem with billionaires? Someone said that you're not one of them. Okay, what else? How not to pay taxes. Okay, I think here's one of the problems with billionaires. Here's one of the problems with billionaires. They usually don't surround themselves with people who say, hey, you know that really stupid idea that you just had? Yeah, it's really dumb. It's really idiotic, right? Who are they surrounding themselves with? Except for Warren Buffett, right? Who surrounds himself with Charlie Munger. People who sometimes are kissing up, people who sometimes want to go along, people who sometimes don't want to get off of the ride, some people who don't want to get off the party, so they don't want to be disagreeable, right? So I think that's, and I read this quote actually from the Timothy Ferriss book. So Timothy Ferriss wrote The 4-Hour Workweek, The 4-Hour Body, Tools of Titans, Tribes of Mentors, and The 4-Hour Chef. Any fans in here of Timothy Ferriss? Okay, a couple of you guys. He also has probably in the top 10 podcast of all the podcasts that are on Apple and Spotify. So he basically has spent a large portion of his life interviewing icons, billionaires, and the rainmakers that we all look up to and respect, and basically ask them to share some of their best practices. And this was one of the quotes from that book. So obviously, it's important, and this is even for you if you are not a billionaire or if you are not a millionaire, right? Not just to surround yourself with yes people. So don't just look for affirmation of your ideas. Instead, also seek some pushback, also seek some critical thinking from others who maybe have been down the road a few times, seen other market cycles, or have tribal knowledge that they can share with you, right? Someone who can say, hey, that dumb idea you had was really stupid, right? Sometimes we need that person to kind of slap us. And I'm not saying that, the person who's always skeptical, the person who's always a critic, but I am saying someone who can really lay some real knowledge on you to be able to expand your knowledge. And then I want to say there are about 258 cognitive biases So these are the things that make us do the act and do the things that we do. These are in many cases what we call these heuristics. So these guidelines, these ways that we use to look at things so that we can very quickly make a decision about something so we don't overwork our brain, right? So we've got all these different tricks that we use and these different things that we sometimes tell us. And one of those things, one of those biases, one of the cognitive biases is called a confirmation bias. So confirmation bias is the tendency to seek out and favor information that confirms what? What we already think, right? And sometimes we can drink a little, sometimes we can get a little drunk on our own Kool-Aid, right? And sometimes we'll look for those different confirmation biases in other places that we go. So Charlie Munger, right? Warren Buffett's right-hand man, his business partner, someone he's been in business with for over 60 years. He's also known as, and Warren lovingly refers to him as the Abominable NoMan, as the Abominable NoMan. So basically, what does that look like for him? He gives Buffett both good ideas and he destroys the bad ones, right? He destroys the bad ones. He provides that level of critical thinking. He's not going to let that billionaire go without having him understand what both the upside is and what the downside is of his possible investment. So the idea here is to recognize reality even when you don't like it, and especially when you don't like it. So I'll tell you, one of my friends who's also a real estate investor, she's been investing for the last 8 or 9 years. And she lovingly refers to me, she did not know about the Abominable NoMan, or maybe she would have called me the Abominable NoWoman, but that doesn't make as much, that doesn't sound as good. But here's what she calls me. She calls me Dr. No. But she means it from two aspects. She calls me Dr. No, N-O, right? No to your stupid idea. But she also calls me Dr. K-N-O-W because I always look at ideas, right? I do the best I can to avoid my cognitive biases and look at ideas from the aspect of not just what good could happen, but also what does the other side look like. So Charlie Munger has this theory, and some of you guys have read a little bit about him, invert, always invert, which means look at deals from different angles, right? Bring different guidance, bring different light to these deals, not just look at what can go right, but also look at what can go wrong. So I feel like I have very much earned my title as Dr. No. And I love being able to make sure that as a real estate investor, that no one that I know does a bad deal, because no deal is better than a bad deal. No deal is better than a bad deal. And you guys have to surround yourself with other people who are willing to say, yes, let me put my experience on this so that I can help you make sure that you're making the right decision. So the Abominable NoMan is our tip of the week this week. So surround yourself with other people who are willing to tell you both what is right about your ideas and what is wrong about your ideas. And as we go through the presentation today,